Today we have CJ from CJ Hutsenpiller Insurance, right?
Hutsenpiller Insurance, but that's fine.
Okay, Hutsenpiller Insurance. And so CJ, there was this competition on Chatfield, over 25,000 applicants or entries, and CJ took number 2 in the race, and because his bot on Facebook Messenger generated over $10,000 in insurance sales premiums, right?
Correct.
And so, yeah, we're going to interview him on how he built the bot, some of the UX principles that proved out to be very successful, and kind of your marketing strategy on it.
Sure.
All right. So CJ, if you can start by sharing your screen,
Sure.
And while you're demoing the bot, kind of give us your thought process, what you were thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. So can you see me here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the big problem with insurance is, especially with what I sell, which are group benefits. So essentially, we would go to an employer, and the employer, that offers benefits to their employees, one of which is life insurance. The problem with that is that it's very time consuming. So we built the bot to essentially expedite the entire process of somebody getting their quote, and basically allowing them to apply for coverage. Because really all we do on benefits is we give somebody a price. Then we would have to go back and DocuSign them an application. So what we did is we just incorporated it into the bot completely. So I'll pull it up here really quickly. Let's see. The bot for us does several other things, but the biggest, in my opinion, is the ability for it to quote life insurance. So let me restart it here because I was right in the middle of something. So basically, first thing we did was we just put a welcome message essentially. What I did for this bot particularly was for a local chamber of commerce, and all of the chamber of commerce people are eligible for coverage. So what we did was we actually purchased a domain. So the domain is MJ Chamber Life Insurance, and that domain redirects to the bot link essentially.
Gotcha.
So what I would do is, when I meet with these people, I'd say, okay, to get your pricing, just go to mjchamberlifeinsurance.com, and you'll get your pricing. So when they do that, it gets redirected to them here. So the first thing we did was, we put some just general program information together. This stuff is all really, really basic, eligibility, that kind of stuff. None of that is all that difficult. I think the biggest thing for me was this get a quote feature, because that's really where we're using, some of the back end stuff. So essentially they have 2 terms available. So life insurance is done in terms. So, they pick their term, and what's going on in the background here is it's saving all of this stuff as attributes. Do you smoke? Yes, no. And then it's pulling the gender of the person from their Facebook profile. And then they input their age. So like me, I'm 29. And then, so now I've got, I actually use FlowXO. And essentially what's going on in the background is that ChatFuel is sending all of this data to FlowXO that's then searching a spreadsheet for the rate, which is here, which comes from the insurance company. So now I've got the rate and it sends it back. And then there used to be a function here for them to purchase it. My insurance companies made me take it down the other day until their legal department could review. So
gotcha.
They were a little taken back that it was even possible, because they told me you couldn't do it. I was doing it. So normally there was another button here that said apply for coverage, and then it would essentially I use DocuSign, and it would open a DocuSign power form that they could fill out to apply for coverage.
And can you schedule meetings through this after getting the rate?
Yes, if they wanted to. I'm one of those. I'm a believer in the bot only goes so far, and then there could be some human interaction. So I actually have 5 agents that monitor this at all times. So typically by the time they've gotten this far, I have an agent that's kind of watching it. And if there's a pause in the conversation, or if the bot, gets hung up for whatever reason, we'll jump in.
So CJ, tell us more about how you got started with bot making, and how you really conceived the idea of, okay, I think this would be great for my business.
Yeah. So the first thing I always look at is that there was nobody else doing it. Was the first thing. The second thing is I've always been a big, proponent of nobody reads email. In insurance, real estate, everybody's obsessed with this email marketing strategy that it just doesn't work. People, I have, a filter in my inbox that if you have the word subscribe or unsubscribe in it, it just automatically sends it to junk. So this was an opportunity to have the trackability, of email, where you can open first clicks and, et cetera, using a platform that everybody's already using anyway.
And so you talked a little bit about FlowXO. So
yes.
As you know, our audience is kind of beginner to intermediate and people who are interested in what can be possible, right? So can you tell us more about FlowXO? Is it a sort of an API, or like what's going on in there?
Yeah, so basically, ChatFuel, which I'm not sure, I'm assuming some of your people are using ChatFuel at least, allows you to use JSON and then send an API to third party, Zapier, FlowXO, whatever you want to use. Mine particular one was FlowXO because I had an easier time sending the rate as an attribute back into ChatFuel so that I could display it for the user, here. So, Zapier does a good job. I'm a big spreadsheet guy. So being able to send data to and from spreadsheets is very, very handy.
Is that actually available for display, or is that proprietary information?
The rates and stuff are proprietary, so I'm not going to be able to show you, which is part of the reason I got in trouble by the insurance company.
Okay, no worries. And so, I just wanted to make sure that the audience knows that there is a way to pull out data if you have the back-end stuff put in place.
If you want, I can show you some of I have a couple of other bots that use Zapier for some different things if you'd like to see that.
Sure. I didn't know you had other bots.
Yeah, so I'll just pull up my ChatFuel account here. So let's see. So I have one person that I've built a bot for that she does like multi-level marketing. Her big thing was capturing names, phone numbers, email addresses, right? So what she does is she uses the Grow tab on here and uses some different ChatFuel rules here. So like, for instance, she has one that she calls her blueprint for success. So when she did the video, she was telling people to comment blueprint in below. So that's where this triggered, and basically what would happen is it would trigger the block blueprint within my system, and then it would walk through getting all of their information. Let's find it here.
So let me just settle for the audience here. So what CJ is saying right now is there's a portion in ChatFuel, it's in the Grow tab, and you can set it up so that when someone comments a specific word or number or whatever on the post, it automatically triggers the bot and engages the user.
Correct. So I was trying to see, make sure I hadn't deleted it here. Okay, here we go. So here's what, so the user inputs, email address, phone number, and then we use the JSON API here to post to Zapier, the first name, last name, location, email, and phone number. So then if we went to our Zapier account, we should be able to see the actual flow that's going on there. Okay, so Zapier, uses different zaps. This one here, I believe, is hers. Yeah. So basically, all that was happening is that what the API that we had entered was for this catch hook, which went to Zapier, and it gave us all that data, and then it created a spreadsheet row. So essentially what Zapier allows you to do is to get step-by-step instructions on what you want it to do with that data. So it was catching the data, those attributes that we sent from ChatFuel here, and then it was creating a spreadsheet row in her in a spreadsheet for her that she uses, which is a Google Sheet.
Right. And so let me ask you a question here. What are the kinds of data that we can pull from the chatbot? I mean, along with its Facebook user data.
Yeah, really anything that they wanted to. You could. It all depends on how you ask the questions to the users, but I mean anything can be saved as an attribute. So whether it's are you a first-time home buyer, or as far as insurance, or in this particular case, if they were interested in selling multi-level marketing products, it can really be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah. So and then Zapier, it puts all that data into a spreadsheet so you can use it for other stuff, right?
Correct. Yeah.